I'm Betsey Miller, and I work in the horticulture department at OSU. I work in Dr. Von Walton's lab, and the primary focus of my research is managing filbert worm, which is the key pest of hazelnuts. And here we are in the hazelnut orchard. This is the USDA Germplasm Repository. So there's all kinds of varieties in here, commercial varieties, and a bunch of collections that have been made from around the world. So it's a really good place to do research. We are interested in the volatile compounds that are coming off the plant that are stimulating oviposition by filbert worms, so egg laying. What's making them lay their eggs? And the reason why we're interested in these volatile compounds is that if we can identify what they are, then we can use those to manipulate the behavior of filbert worm. We can improve monitoring. We can possibly do ovipositional disruption, kind of like they do mating disruption with codling moth and apples. But the first step is figuring out what they are. And it's actually a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. So one of the challenges is you want to sample the volatiles coming off the plant as it's growing in the field. To sample the volatiles, we often use a vacuum pump and a little filter. This is called flow pump. We did not invent this machine. And one of these units blows air into this bag and the other one brings it back out. So my husband, who is an electronics nerd, has helped me by building these little machines based on the instructions from this open source project. So I've had these out here for a week. They've been sampling every night. We ended up having to hook them up to a solar panel to make sure that they would run for 24 hours because the longer that you sample, the better sort of profile you can read from that little filter. Okay. So right now I'm under here. I'm trying to find like a nice cluster. That one looks pretty good that I can put inside this bag. I'm kind of looking for like few leaves, more nuts, because we're trying to isolate the volatiles that are coming from the nuts. So I'm gonna wrap this little nut up in the bag here, and then I'm gonna collect my tubes. Oops, I need to leave you right there. Collect my tubes over here, get the caps off. These bags right here, these are like the bags you would use to like roast your turkey in the oven or something. But we use them because they're inert. They don't give up their own volatiles. So they're really useful for this purpose. All right, now we got it all set up. It's all squished in there with the cluster. All right. There we go. So now you can hear that this little pump is sucking the air out at a rate of 450 milliliters per minute. Now I've just turned on the pump. So it's going to be pumping air into that bag at a rate of 500 liters per minute. So we'll just keep that pressure in the bag, and I'll come back here tomorrow evening and do it all again. And then I've had some really good luck with, feeling confident that the plant is healthy when I'm sampling these volatiles. Like, look at that little cluster. It's like no worse for the wear, even though it's been hanging out in this plastic bag for 24 hours. So what we have here on the end is this charcoal filter, which is making sure that the air that goes in the bag is clean. So I'm just gonna keep that air clean with a cap here. And then I'm just gonna pop this filter off. Yeah, these are pore pack filters, and they're filled with these little adsorbent beads. So when air passes through this filter, the volatile compounds in that air get stuck on those little beads and they're trapped there. And then I go back into the laboratory and I just turn it like this over a vial, and I drip, drip, drip solvent through there, and it flushes through and it recollects those volatile compounds that have been trapped by the beads into the vial. And I just cap the vial and we're off to the races.